So when you come into the game, your quest will be up at your one and only quest line that I know of is at the top right, which will show you gathering rough logs, which will be any tree or bush. That when you mouse over it, it will say rough logs. Each one gives you 2, and later on you can get trees. That this might be one of them. Now, there's a tree that can give you up to 50 at a time. I don't know if this island doesn't have any. So we gotta get some stone real quick, which are all these plain little rocks. And then you come to the anvils, and you gotta make a skinning knife to start off. And then you kill any rabbit, which it's... Oh, that's different. So I guess in each area is a little bit different. Where I started off before was in a snow area, so instead of frogs, it was rabbits. So with these, I have my settings set up to double click and then it goes to auto attack, and once you kill anything you just blankly click on it and you'll gather whatever it has on it. But we need 8 of them, and I want to say this creates the body. So it automatically equips anything you make that you don't already have on your body. But so later on when you start crafting your own gear or buying your own gear, you'll have to actually place it on yourself. It just takes 2 seconds, but when you actually do, there will be skills right here that you could select from that give you more options. So we need to craft a broadsword. So we need 6 wood and 6 stone. And then again, we're just gonna come over here and grab 6 stone real quick. And if you get any extra resources, do not throw it away, because you will use them on something or other. Like even if you're not crafting, using it on a house, it'll save you money, or even selling it later on will also help you out getting gear to start off, because if you're wanting to do mainly PvP or PvE, you need gear that you don't craft, which crafting it takes more time anyways. So come down here and you always click the 3rd icon on the basic workbench. And just right click it, oh, and if you don't know the hotkeys, I'm on a PC, so all I use is I'd open my bag. There's a ton of hotkeys on here, and I won't go through the list of it since I'm just trying to get you your first mount really quickly. So this is going to be the ability part that I was talking about. Just pick whichever one. The left one tends to do more damage instantly, while the right one, I want to say, does an area effect. They want you to come over here and hit the dummies and use your new skill, so Q will be your new skill. And when they want you to leave the island, this is your map down here and on your bottom right, and you'll have to go to the very end of it where the bridge is. This guy right here will start your quest line to get your first mount, and he'll tell you to speak to the royal crafter. If you look at the bottom right, there is a red symbol right here for you to get, a red scroll symbol to get to talk to that person, so it's easier to follow. As long as you follow that, you'll be alright. But so I'm gonna pick the broadsword just because it's the first one. So for this quest, you will get a beginner's pickaxe, a skinnable knife, and turn to the roll. So now they want you to get your tools. So to make these tools, you can always hit B and it'll tell you you can go into these lines, and your crafting will be right here, and it'll tell you what, by clicking on these little emblems, it'll tell you what resources you need to make them. So it needs copper and birch, which, hang on, I want to say they're the simple tools. So if so, I just need rough stone and wood. I'll try that first. I'm probably going to skip through some of the more boring parts of this just so that you don't have to actually sit here and watch me. Yeah, so it's a beginner's pickaxe, so you're going to come over here and you're going to have from stone from earlier, or you're going to have to gather a little bit more stone around the area. Each map is slightly different. It's not a huge difference, all pretty simple and relevant. So I'm gonna make me a pickaxe, and then whenever you get your pickaxe, you return to the person. Depending on what quest line you get, you have to get a different tool and get different resources, but for the sake of this one, I'm just going to use the broadsword. So this one just wants you to open your world map, which would be M, and then you hit escape and get right back out of it, and so that part of the quest is over. And now it wants you to get their copper ore and rugged hide. So there are spots in the city that will have the stuff you need if you can find it without being already looted, because a lot of people will sit here in this city because it's an easy location to get it without having to go and search. It's typically by your forge, so I should probably have checked that. Alright, your smelter, I mean. So when you're pulling out that little mini map, all you gotta do is mouse over anything and it will tell you what's there. So here's the copper ore beside this. So if these are fully loaded up, they'll be 9 each, and you only need 16, so this will give you plenty. And then you can, the rugged hide will be, basically both the resources are tier 2 resources, so your frog won't work on this. So you'll have to find, is it the snake in this zone? So it's a snake in this zone, and the snow zone, it will be a fox. I'm not 100% sure what it will be in the desert zone, but once you kill it, you just click over it, just like always. Since you have the skinning knife, it'll be easy. The higher your level your tools are, the quicker your gathering speed will be, which is very nice later on, because you'll get into the point where you're getting tier 5, tier 6, and you only get two resources per load through, and it's ridiculously slow, at least with a lower level tool. So now it wants to make them, and so basically now you got to refine all the resources that you have. So if it's the bow, you'll have to refine the wood into planks, so on and so forth. So so you come over to the forge, you're gonna click on the copper bar, and then you come down to craft. And this focus is something that when you pay for the game, you can accept the reward up here, which gives you basically it's a membership for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, depending on how much you pay. But it allows you to get resources back when you actually craft items or refining resources. So it's very helpful on that, but a lot of people use it for farming. So when you actually that'd be a whole nother video on that. But so I'm gonna go over here for a tanner, which in this area it's down this way. So the tanner, you just come up here and click on the little stools and click the stiff leather and then craft. But this quest line will give you an ox if you didn't already know, and it's the only quest line I could find while I was playing this game. But the ox is very helpful, but once you get journeyman, or no, it doesn't give you an ox, it gives you a mule, and then when you get to journeyman you want to buy an ox. Those will help you a lot while traveling and gathering resources if you're crafting. So now that you got your resources, it'll tell you to craft your broadsword. So it's going to want you to craft the novice broadsword, so just make sure you don't click on the beginners like I did just a second ago. So you come back and talk to him once more, and then he'll want you to craft your helmet, your chest plate, your boots, and then your offhand. So basically, it just wants to craft your whole set of gear. So when you're doing this, it's gonna, depending on what you want to craft, I'm just gonna do armor for the sake of it. Since I already went the broadsword, I might as well keep up with the style. So with this, I'll have to get 32 bars. So if I come over here and see that nobody's gathered any, it'll be very easy for me to get it. Luckily, I think I'm on at a kind of slower time right now. Alright, so here I am back with getting all my gear I had to get. I had to get a helmet, chest plate, boots, offhand, and it's basically whatever you prefer to wear as armor, because if you're going to be a tank, you're going to want to go plate. I mean, you can mix it up. That's what I love about this game. You can take a piece from every gear, but typically if you're going to go tank, plate armor will help you the most. So since I already went the tank-ish weapon, I'll just take the plate armor. So now I want you to speak with the royal soldier, which is just right over here, which on your map might be in a different location since they spawn you in, seems to be random locations, but it'll be the red icon. So you come over here and just click on him and click complete, and then he will want you to collect 150 silvers, which it's not too hard, but you just have to make sure wherever you go to is lower level with camps. So generally, since you got your set of armor, you can handle any solo area. So I'm gonna go over here because they have 3 little camps. Alright, so when coming over here to kill anything for silver, you're gonna want to go to these camps, these little guys. There's gonna be some here and there. It's a hit or miss when you're trying to find them. And here are the little bunnies I was telling you about. So on your little map, it's a little hard to keep up where you are. So I'm just gonna pull this up. I'm gonna take a path right over here to this little entrance. So this is a wizard here. They have a area effect damage that maybe I can show you. Nope. So every time you kill them, there it is. Every time you see that, you want to get out of the way, because it can and will kill you. So when you kill them, it'll drop a little bit of silver on the ground, but the thing is, you cannot pick it up until you're out of combat. And I just keep pulling people. Alright. The little wild scavengers that drop a little less silver, they'll drop items more often, which are resources, which at these levels they tend to be rough stone, which it can help you a little bit if you don't want to actually go gather it, but it's a lot quicker just to go gather it yourself. And it's click targeting, so when you click somebody, it's that's like targeting them. Then you can throw your skill, you can hit your skills, which would be Q, W, E, R, and D is generally healing for after combat, or later on you can get defensive spells that help you out in combat, but for solo running it's nice to have the heal like this. So I'm probably going to skip this a little bit and get back to you once I'm done with collecting my silver. Alright, so we're back to this guy again. And we'll click on him to talk to him again and complete this. And now we get to acquire a horse token with the silver we just got. So we'll come over. He's typically standing by the auction house, but sometimes he's not. So this golden hammer right here is where you'll want to go to find this guy. So you'll just search horse or token. So you just buy your horse token for 100 silver. And once you buy it, you gotta come over here to complete. I almost forgot. And you take item. And once you take that, you won't have to talk to him again. You'll have to talk to the guy where you came from, where you started the quest. So you come over here and you give it to him, and there you go. You've got your first mount. You drag it right here and you hit A, and that'll be your equipped for your mount. And then when you go to gather resources, you can just, it'll get you off it automatically when you go to a resource. And then if you go out of the area, it'll drop it away. You have to mount up again. But there you go, and then they give you a cloak. And that is the basics. So I hope you like.